Billy, I've talked to many of the leading cosmologists, and one hears more and more about multiverse, multiple universes expressed in a whole series of different ways,
Mm-hmm.
from domains that can't communicate together to just radically different total universes. As a theist, how do you look at that developing argument?
This is an interesting example of how religion indirectly influences the content of science, or what people think the content of science might be. The postulating a multiverse universe is a response to the fine-tuning problem that there are all these issues: the rate of expansion, the ratio of matter and antimatter, the specific values of the weak and strong nuclear forces, so on and so forth. These seem to be so
That are conducive to life.
they're conducive to the universe as we see it.
Or we wouldn't have it.
These seem to be so elegantly improbable that one might be tempted to postulate some transcendent mind or intelligence that intended it to be so. And in flight from that inference or that conclusion, we now have this extravagant extrapolation, in my mind, about multiple universes.
Now, there is some mathematical elegance to some of this that seems to flow out of some mathematics.
Sure, and mathematics sometimes leads us to the truth, and that's pretty amazing and wonderful. But mathematics does not necessarily lead us in that direction.
So, are you suggesting that postulations of multiverses, many universes, is basically a scientific flight from theism?
In part, yes.
Those are fighting words.
Well, I'm not. Many physicists
you don't
agree.
Look like a fighting guy.
This may yet be the 21st century equivalent to counting the number of angels on the head of a pin. It's not the least bit clear that this will ever be empirically verifiable science.
But what is the alternative?
The universe is. Whether we're talking about evolution of life and biology, or the evolution of the actual universe, the one that we actually observe, and when we're trying to make inferences about probability, inelegantly improbable fine-tuning as an example, we do have a more fundamental problem, which is we only have a case of one. So it's
one data point.
This universe. Yeah. So we really can't make these kinds of judgments about probability, whether we're talking about Darwinian evolution or whether we're talking about fine-tuning issues in the universe. And we can't rerun the universe. We can redo it in our mind, but we can't rerun the universe and see if it might have been otherwise.